Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny.
You know what time it is, so sit back and get ready for the Stafford Voice, your dose of conservative in a world of liberal.
3, 2, 1.
Hello, America! Today's show topics include peace in the Middle East, removing the Star Spangled Banner as the national anthem, and dissecting the Declaration of Independence. Yes, we're going to pick up where we left off last week, and also a bit of a visual for a Who Said That. I mean, surely they can't be serious. Look, that's right. I'm Daniel, and
Roxanne.
That's right. And you're watching or listening to the Stafford Voice, where we are conservative in a world of liberal. It's ridiculous, the crap that is happening in the world. But I want to remind you there are many ways to tune in, so do yourself a favor. Set the channel as a favorite, whatever you have to do so you don't get left behind. Because if, for some strange, crazy reason, you missed the show, you'll be able to catch a replay. So sit tight, because there is no need to panic. We've got you. Just make sure you subscribe, and look, if you're watching a rebroadcast of this, I want to thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you, by chance, happen to see or hear anything that you like or whatever, just pass us on a note, leave a message in the comments, or hit us up on Facebook or the Twitters, and we can chat it up. So yeah, speaking of which, the easiest way to stay caught up is to follow on social media. You can find us on Twitter or Gab at Stafford Voice. Again, that's at Stafford Voice. Or you can find us over on the Facebooks or the Instagrams or whatever the hell other kind of social site is that you use. We're probably there, and if not, well, it's just too ultra-liberal for guys and gals like us. So we're probably not there, or if we need to be, let us know, and we'll figure it out. We'll get over there if we need to. All you got to do is just search for the Stafford Voice wherever you're at, and we're there. Also, do everybody a bit of a favor. Head over to thestaffordvoice.com, where you can stay up to date on anything and everything that, well, we have time to put out. I apologize. It's been a crazy week, and
It's not going to get any better with the holidays coming up.
That's so true. It's not going to get easier.
It's just going to get busier.
That it is. But I look, I have something I want to share with you guys, but I'm not going to do it right yet. I think we'll do it over the weekend. We will. That's what I will do. I will share what we've been working on, and kind of why we've been so busy and why it's been so difficult to get so much stuff out for you guys. So we'll figure out a way, and we'll do something over the weekend to kind of explain some stuff. And I think you'll be pleased. I think you'll be pleased with what we're doing and where we're going with it. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Mine?
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited for what we might be doing.
It really is kind of exciting. I think it's really exciting. So we'll see.
I hope it works out really good like we want it to.
I hope so too. I think it's going to be hectic getting things started, but I think the payoff is going to be worth it. Eventually, way on down the road, that is. But we do have something really, really exciting that we want to share with you guys. So you guys will have to stay tuned this weekend. Also, coming up, maybe mid to late Friday afternoon, I think we're working on trying to bring together a bit of a, I guess we could just call it a special, one of those special broadcasts that we've done very, very few of in the past. We're gonna, I think we need to do a show in and of itself just on Antifa. So if you guys are interested in that, if you guys are interested in hearing from Slick, I think we want to get Slick on the show, and we want to talk about Antifa, some of the history, some of the things that are happening. So yeah, we can't just let them go by the wayside. And I know that if we give them the attention that they want, that they're only going to get bigger, and it's just going to give them an idea that, hey, it's... But whatever. So, to Antifa. I mean, seriously, we're all still here. We are all still here, right?
Yeah, but I worried Saturday.
But there wasn't anything to worry about. I mean, they gave us their whole battle plan. They told us exactly what cities they were going to be in, and they told us to be prepared, what to be prepared for.
Yeah, but you know your wife, she worries about everything.
I know. It's almost ridiculous.
It is. Even I find it ridiculous, and then I worry about it.
And you worry about worrying too much.
I do.
It's crazy sometimes.
And then if I happen to not worry about something, then I worry that there's something wrong.
So.
It's a stupid cycle.
Slick, quit giving, don't give it all away. Save some for this week, for Friday, so we can talk about it.
What time are you doing this Friday?
I don't know. I haven't worked out all the deets yet.
Because I thought we had that thing at church to go to.
That's at 6.
Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be around 4.
Okay.
We'll have time. I think we'll have time.
Okay.
If not, then we'll have to do something on like Saturday or something. I don't know. I got to work out the details with Slick.
I get off early on Friday.
But I actually had somebody reach out to me earlier today, and they wanted to hear what Slick had to say about Antifa. So, yeah, we've got to do that show. Also, one other thing that we've got to do, I really need to give you guys a shout out. Let's go down the list of who we've got in the room. Let me see if this will do. Let me see. Who do we have? Okay, we got Refill in the house. We got Jesse from Jesse's Point of View. We got Jessica. Also probably in the room with her is Daniel and Gavin and Justin. What?
And maybe Justin.
I just said Justin.
I know, we said it at the same time.
I know. It's like we live together or something.
I know. Great minds think alike.
Oh boy. we got Kentucky Ron in the room. We got Slick in the hizzy. We got Tina. We got you. We got me. Well, it's like a grand old Opry party.
Al is there, but he's listening and working.
Al is listening. Where the hell did the chat go?
I don't know. I have it still on mine.
Oh, there it went. Oh,
Okay.
It went away and now it came back. What the heck? Oh, I can't see the station chat room. I really can't. I'm sorry. Who else do we have? Let me know. It says we got Ron and Bill. I'm sorry. I can't see the station chat room. I don't have it pulled up. Shame on me. I'm sorry. I suck as your host. Anyway.
I'm trying, but it's hard to look at that and listen so I don't miss any questions that you may have for me.
Yeah, because that was something that people bring up, is that I'm asking you questions and there's like a huge delay and you're like right there.
Like, what?
So also, we need to give a shout out to Refill's friend who is listening in. I'm not going to name names, But let's give a big shout out to Refill inviting some friends. So anyway, so how about we jump into this?
Okay.
What do you think?
Sure.
Like feet first or head first?
I don't know if I want to do either.
It doesn't matter because we're jumping into the deep end.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what the hell is happening. Okay, that's ready for later. Okay, here's the thing. I posted 2 videos. Actually, I didn't post them. I shared 2 videos on Facebook early this morning, and you watched them.
I did.
And here's what I sent you a message.
Yes.
I said, watch the 2 videos that I posted, and then I want you to think about what it means to you.
Yes, you did.
Both of these videos were from Glenn Beck. And what he was doing is he got out his big, beautiful chalkboard. God, I wish we had something like that. Whether it was like a big chalkboard or just even a big, huge dry erase board.
Pretty colors chalk.
He did. You can do that with dry erase markers.
Well,
I don't. Maybe that's something we can ask for Christmas.
But it was it was a chalkboard, and you had red chalk and blue chalk.
They have
yellow
colors.
Chalk.
They have colors for chalk.
I know, but it was like red. It wasn't like the pinkish red chalk that you get. The really cheap pinkish red chalk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Go on.
Jessica, I see you in the chat. She says that they've got chalkboard paint. I don't know if it would work. I think what I really would like to do is get a big, huge dry erase board and do... I would rather do a big, huge dry erase board.
I think that chalkboard paint stuff actually does work well.
Really? You don't have to like paint it on every couple months?
That I don't know, but I know like it does. Somebody from church, they did their kitchen table in chalkboard paint.
Really?
And so yeah, it's actually kind of cool. I've kind of liked it. And so they write messages to the kids on it, or when it's one of the kids' birthday, they write "Happy Birthday, so and so," and it's kind of cool. I was like, wow. So, but I don't know about the repainting. Like if you have to repaint often or.
Interesting. Well, maybe it's something to think about. But we've got time. Not a lot of time because I want to get that. I want to get that kind of stuff done. And actually, we're trying to. I'm hoping later tonight in the show that we debut a bit of technological advances. I hope it works. I really do. I hope it works for the Who Said That. I mean, we're steps, baby steps. But anyway, and Refill, it's not big. Those dry erase boards are big enough that I can barely make notes for myself. I've got 2 side by side back there. They're what? 2 feet by 3 feet. They're not very big. So, yeah.
I'm sorry. I just laughing.
Are you laughing at what Slick's financial advisor, aka Tina says? Tina says no. And that's okay.
Poor Tina.
I totally get it.
She's being bullied now on Facebook or
she is not.
Chat.
We got to stick up for Tina.
Tina's awesome.
She is. Tina rocks. So I asked you to watch both of those videos, and I hope that guys, if you have not seen them, at some point tonight after the show or tomorrow or over the weekend, I want you to go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/the Stafford Voice or whatever it is. I want you to watch the 2 videos. I think it's going to total about, 15 minutes? Each one of them was only like 7 minutes.
One was like 6 and one was like 5. So
somewhere, it's going to be less than 15 minutes of your time. And it's really, it really is going to paint some context into what we're getting ready to talk about. So Glenn Beck got out his old chalkboards. Well, it's new, but anyway, he went back to the chalkboard and he drew out the Middle East region. Okay?
Yep.
So
I didn't realize Saudi Arabia was so bigger than all the other.
It is. Saudi Arabia is huge. But I want to ask you, was there anything that kind of stuck out to you? Just immediately, what's the first thing that stands out to you after having watched the two videos?
I'm kind of scared.
Why would you be? I'm kind of interested, and I didn't ask you earlier because I wanted to talk about it on the show.
I know, but now I feel kind of silly.
No, just let me know, why do you feel scared about what he talked about?
Well, because it could be a big war.
And this war would be between who?
Like us and them?
For the most part, yes. And you're going exactly where I was hoping you would. Here's the thing. So the Middle East region is controlled by two big groups. Two big groups. Okay? Iran and Saudi Arabia. You've got to be silly if you think anybody else has any power in that region. To really understand the Middle East region and why there's so much fighting, you actually have to go back quite a few years. You have to go back almost 100 years. Back to when, and this is going to be one of those silly things that people are going to paint us as nut jobs for talking about some of the same stuff that Glenn Beck talks about. But
he's usually right.
He's been right so many times, and especially on the Middle East region. And yeah, we talked about this. If you're a long-time listener, you will remember when we did the show about a chessboard, and we talked about the different pieces of a chessboard and what they mean, and we painted it into we broke it down into we related it to Islamic State. You remember that show?
I do remember that show.
It's been a while. But
a long while.
And it seems like it's been forever, but it's only been a year since
Really?
we did that show. Yeah, it was last year. Maybe it's been a year and a half. Okay? But here's the thing. When you go back 100 years ago, there was this agreement called the Sykes-Picot Agreement. Okay, well, Sykes-Picot came in and they basically drew all the lines for the countries.
That makes the current map, right?
That makes the current map. That makes what we know as the Middle East region, and it kind of maps out the areas. So here's where Saudi is, here's where Iraq, here's Iran, here's Yemen, here...
Lebanon and all that. And...
Yes. Now, 5 or 6 years ago...
6. Are you talking about when he started talking about the caliphate?
Actually, I'm throwing myself a bone here. 5 or 6 years ago, I posted something on the Stafford Voice. Now, the show's not been around that long, but...
The Stafford Voice has.
Yes. I posted something on the Stafford Voice probably 6 years ago. And it was from Iran. And he was talking about the coming caliphate. Ever since then, I've kept my eyes open to the idea of the coming caliphate. Well, when Glenn Beck brought it up 5 or 6 years ago, we were basically on the same page. Okay? When Glenn Beck brought up the caliphate, my ears perked up. And I thought, okay, I'm I'm onto this, and I need to stay in tune. Introduce the Islamic State. When the Islamic State was like really marching forward a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was really focused and paying attention. And because the entire thing with trying to say and claim that they have a caliphate is they have to have a land region. In order for a caliphate to happen, they have to have control of a region of land. They have to have a place of home. Okay?
Okay.
Now, we've already got 2 predominantly Muslim countries. Iran, which is... So, okay, in the Islamic religion, there's two different sects, if you will, of Muslim. You do know this, right? That there's the Shia Muslims and the Sunnis.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I just didn't realize they were 2 separate Muslim things.
Yes, one is a little more conservative, and one is a little more hardcore. Okay.
Okay.
The Sunnis are a little more conservative. The Shiites, the Shias, are hardcore. The Shias are basically the ones that is who Iran says they are. Iran is Shia-led, and Saudi is led by Sunnis. Okay, so already they don't get along.
Because they have different opinions.
They do have different opinions.
And they don't want to be respectful of other opinion, and it's theirs and theirs alone.
It's the hardcores. It's Iran that causes a lot more problems. Now, let's remember back when we removed Saddam Hussein when we removed him from power, what was the one thing that everybody talked about? That the idea that there was going to be wow, I'm getting all tongue-tied. I'm getting the chills for some reason. I don't know. But there was going to be a power vacuum. Okay? When we removed Saddam Hussein, why would there be a power vacuum in when Saddam was removed? That's because everybody was scared of Saddam. They knew that if you take away the biggest, baddest, scariest dude.
Okay.
Somebody else tries to come in.
It could be worse. It
could be worse. Okay, now fast forward a few years when the end of the Bush regime and the start of the Obama administration. So you had all 8 years of the Obama administration, what happened in the Middle East. We went in and we caused so many disruptions. We went into to a handful of countries. We removed the regime. What happened? Somebody worse came in.
Was that ISIS?
No, that was like you had the Muslim Brotherhood coming in, and you had other just hardcore people.
Okay.
Fast forward to 2 years ago when the Islamic State really started to blow up and really started to gain momentum. Okay? Now we're really starting to get the idea that, okay, maybe there is a caliphate getting ready to happen. They're already saying, I mean, you've got the Islamic State saying that they're the next legitimate caliphate. But they only lacked one thing, and that was the actual land grab. So we have two countries that are basically leading the Middle East, Saudi Arabia and Iran. And here's where I'm going with this. when you understand all of that backstory, and you start looking at the different pockets of disruption in the Middle East, when you looked at that map that Beck was drawing, where were all of those pockets? Weren't they kind of located around something?
They, like, located around a country?
Yes, they all basically circled a country.
Saudi Arabia.
Yes, exactly. Why? Because Iran wants to overpower the Saudis. Again, the Shias want more control because they're the hardcore ones. They think that it's hardcore or nothing, or you're just as bad as the infidels. So Iran is trying to flex their muscle because now they've got all these little pockets of insurgents around Saudi Arabia, and they're trying to put the squeeze on them. Now we're starting to have an understanding of why we see Saudi, the king in Saudi Arabia, and the prince, the newly appointed prince, that is, why there are certain things happening. But you also have to realize there are some things happening over here in our backyard, basically, that's doing some harm towards Saudi Arabia and even everybody else in the Middle Eastern region. Okay?
Okay.
What funds the Middle East?
The oil.
Exactly. For how many years have we relied on the Middle East region as our source for oil? You look at what's happening right now in the United States. We've got fracking. We're actually drilling. We're doing all these other things. And who is that hurting?
The Saudi Arabia.
It's hurting Saudi, and it's hurting everybody else over there that relies on oil money to fund their country. Well, over the last year, I've noticed that Saudi Arabia has been talking about moving towards solar power. They've been moving towards wind energy. Interesting, right? That's kind of interesting. That would kind of perk up your ears.
Well, because isn't that what they're talking about here in the States, too?
Yes, but we have a lot of oil in the United States that, because of the technology and how far it has advanced, we're able to see these pockets of oil. There's a large area, basically the western third of the state of Texas is covered in oil underneath. Now we have the technology. They're finding these big, huge pockets of oil in between different shelves of rock. And what they're able to do is they can stay on the coast, they can drill down, straight down, and they can take the tip of the drill bit and turn it 90 degrees and go straight over in between the two layers of rock. And they can suck out all that oil. Well, it's taking money away from Saudi Arabia. So what is Saudi Arabia doing to combat this? They're trying to be more conservative. Now, people are seeing this as the leadership in Saudi as consolidating power. And they are. Ultimately, that's what they're doing, is they're consolidating power. They're taking all of these other princes, and over the weekend, that's what happened. They took like 10 to 15 different princes in Saudi, and they basically locked them up.
Why?
Because it's taking influence, because they're taking influence away from higher level, from the king and the prince that's gonna become the next king. Okay?
Okay.
They're trying to consolidate this because they understand that if they continue down this same path, if they don't get all these other princes to fall in with their ideas of building, of the vision, this 2030 vision that they have. This is, I can't remember exactly what they got. Let me see. I think I have it. What is it called? It was something 2030. Vision 2030. That's what they're calling it. Vision 2030. They've got this vision for the year 2030 that they want to try and get the country completely off of oil. You have a country that has relied on oil for how many decades? And now they're instantly ready to try and get away from it. One, because they can't make money. Two, they're scared that they're going to run out of resource. And three, if they don't do something now, they're going to lose power. And somebody like Iran, who is trying to already put the squeeze on them, is going to obliterate them. Now, let me go back to your comment earlier. You said you were scared. You were scared that the U.S. was going to get involved and we were going to have war.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that's where I see this going, is if there's so much unrest, okay, and we've got the Saudis fighting Iran and all the other pockets around them, where's the United States going to be? Whose side are we going to pick? We're known in the region for not picking the right side all the time. I mean, even sometimes we're picking the same side. We're picking both sides. How as a country are we going to be able to sustain that? We can't. We can't be fighting both sides of the war like we have in some areas, like Syria. And this is where a bit of religion actually comes into play. It is somewhere in the book of Revelations where we understand that once the unrest starts happening over there, it all depends on whose side we fall on. If we fall on the wrong side, it's over.
So it's the end of the world.
Cue the music. It's the end of the world. See, I'm not trying to scare you, but this is how we get into war. And Slick just said that. This is how we end up getting into wars. Stuff like this. Now, so many things in the world are because of Oil. You remove oil out of the equation. You know, if there's no more oil, or Saudi, and Slick is touching on this right now. He says the U.S. economy is driven by oil. If Saudi shuts down their production, our economy hurts. True, but here's the thing. We've already stopped having to be so reliant on the Middle East. We now possess the technology that we can sustain our own production. We export a lot of oil. We don't have to worry about buying oil from Middle Eastern nations at $100 a barrel and going to the gas station and filling up your car for $4 a gallon of gas. It's just not going to happen again because of the technology that the U.S. now possesses. Now, I mean, and I can see that we honestly could talk about this for another hour, and we still wouldn't even scratch the surface. Because as Jesse from Jesse's point of view is talking about in the chat right now, you've got another region that you have to bring into play. And that is North Korea. North Korea and Iran, she's exactly correct. They're big trading partners, and we know that North Korea and Iran are trading information for nukes and the missile program. We understand this. And Slick says, it's not how much we have, it's about how much we pay for it. It's more expensive to pay American companies to produce oil. I agree, but Americans, excuse me, I'm gassy today. Americans in large part will step up and pay a little more, knowing that we're not giving it to our enemy. If we could actually get the government to get out of the way and remove some of the regulations, a lot of the expense, a lot of those expenses would come down, which would drive the cost of producing oil down, which in turn would bring the price of oil down. Or, I'm sorry, gas and other byproducts. Ron says that we need to do a weekly 2-hour block and that would be equivalent to a doctorate level program. I don't think so. I actually just put my thinking hat on right before the show. And that's the thing. Our government knows. We got to give a little more credit to our government. They understand just how much power they have. They really do. And, you know, we probably should talk about that here in just a second. But, that's probably enough of talking about the Middle East for tonight. Otherwise, I'm going to get a headache, and I woke up with one, and I finally got rid of it, and I didn't even take anything. I'm proud of myself. I didn't take anything for it. But this story actually might just tick me off. The idea that to remove the Star Spangled Banner as the national anthem.
Why?
Good question. Why? Well, apparently, somebody is being quoted as saying... Okay, first I need to tell you who it is. California's NDoubleACP. By the way, speaking of California, where the hell is Army John at?
Oh, I don't know. He's
not been in the chat. I just realized. Where the hell is Army John?
Or Brian.
What?
Or Brian.
Brian already talked to me earlier. He's not able to. He'll catch the show at Dark 30.
Okay.
He's got to hit the road super early in the morning. So we give him a free pass. Again, on the road truckers, we gotta give them as much love as we can because they help keep things pumping.
But Army John.
Yeah, I don't know. He's over in liberal California anyway, so he probably knew that we were going to talk about this, and he didn't want to show his face. So California's NDoubleACP is pushing for state lawmakers to support a campaign to remove the Star Spangled Banner as the country's national anthem. The group says the song, which has been a point of controversy in the NFL, is, quote, one of the most racist, pro-slavery, anti-black songs in the American lexicon.
How? How is it all of those?
I don't know. I think maybe what they were talking about was some of the rap music.
Yeah, that's bad.
That you hear. Because that stuff is nasty, racist, anti-American. I mean, it has absolutely they sing of no values at all. Oh. So, this is interesting. This is the ignorance in media. They said, the California NAACP President Alice Huffman, she told the Sacramento Bee, "We owe a lot of it to Kaepernick. I think all this controversy about the knee will go away once the song is removed."
How is this related to him? I guess I'm so confused by how...
Yeah.
Not at all.
He didn't take a flippin' knee because of the Star Spangled Banner.
He felt oppressed. Wasn't that the reason why he took a knee?
He felt oppressed in America. Because, Black Lives Matter. Yeah, they do. So do white lives matter. So do white lives. So do Asian lives. So do Mexican lives. All lives matter. This freaking Afro Puff decides that he's got a... Oh, God, don't get me started on Kaepernick. But then they go on to say that this is all Trump's fault. Huffman said... Trump got in the middle of it. He blew it out of proportion.
What did Trump blow out of proportion?
All he did was called him out. And he basically... Sure, he didn't use the right language. When has Trump ever used the right language?
We know this about Trump. This is nothing new.
It's Trump. I mean... God damn, I stubbed my toe. Can I blame Trump?
You could. My foot hurts. Can I blame Trump?
No! Our Brussels sprouts they didn't get drained properly. Big deal. I'm blaming
fault.
Trump. It's not your fault. It's Trump's fault. Trump put too much water, too much moisture in Brussels sprouts. Damn it.
He wasn't even in our house.
Thanks, Trump.
Oh, so now we're doing that.
Yes, now we're going to do that instead of... Now we're doing that instead of thanks, Obama.
I guess I'm just confused why they consider the song racist when it was about our flag, wasn't it?
It is about our flag. And look, it doesn't matter if there's a third verse, a fourth verse, or whatever.
There's 4 verses.
There's 4 verses,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
One of those verses supposedly has some things in it that could be viewed as dealing with slavery.
But wasn't that But isn't that what happened during that time?
Here's the thing.
I don't know. I guess I'm just confused.
Here's the thing. Who started slavery? They did. They sold themselves out. They got sold over there, put on a boat, and brought over here and sold to the highest bidder.
They were not the only ones either. You have other races that were sold into slavery too. We
Yes.
still continue to have it to this day. We have white people that are in slavery. We have black people. We have all different colors that are sold into slavery for whatever reason. It's not just one race.
Exactly.
And it's never been just one race. It's been from other countries as well.
All right. It's starting to hurt my head. I don't want to do that anymore. Yes. We need to give a shout out to Slick. Apparently his hemorrhoids are acting up.
Oh, geez.
And it's Trump's fault. Somebody needs to express their, no, I'm not going to do that to you, Slick. I'm not going to do that to you. But yes, it's Trump's fault. Trump is the whole reason, all the problems in the world rest on Trump.
Okay, but correct me if I'm wrong. The Colin Kaepernick guy.
Kaepernick.
Didn't he start all of this when Obama was in administration?
No, you can't talk about that.
I'm asking a question. So
don't talk about it. You can't talk about that.
Well, this is my microphone, so
you can't talk. I can shut it off. You can't talk about that. It's Trump's fault.
Not start
Trump's fault.
Obama was in
Trump's
administration
fault.
before
Trump's fault.
Trump come in.
Wrong. It's Trump's fault. Everybody knows it's Trump's fault. Okay.
So Trump is gonna blame himself.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. I'm confused.
It's Trump's fault. Even Obama would agree. Let me be clear.
It's Trump's fault.
It's Trump's fault.
Well, of course he's going to say that.
He's not a decent American. Neither am I. I'm a piece of... Never mind. Not doing that.
Do you have another story?
I do. Let me see. Let's see if we can get this to work. Let's talk about... What?
Are you gonna...
No, we're not doing the Who Said That. Actually, I want to talk about this real quick.
Okay.
Because we need to dissect the... we need to spend some time dissecting the Declaration of Independence. Last week, we talked about the opening line. This week, we are talking about the second line, where it reads, "We hold these truths." I'm gonna do the same thing this week as we did, as we did last week. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna talk about it bit by bit. It says we hold these truths. These, okay? More on that word. More on these truths in just a second. To be self-evident, meaning we all know that these are truths. It's true because it's factual. You can try and take it away all you want, but they're given to us. That all men are created equal, men and women, okay?
Of all color.
All men and women are created equal. Okay? That's right there, in and of itself, says slavery is stupid. That they are endowed by their creator. Okay. Again, their creator being a higher power. And that higher power is whoever it is you choose to worship. And that they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. And again, if you look at that, the R for rights is capitalized. That points back to that capitalized word right above it where it says creator. Those rights are given by that higher power. That among these, imagine that. Among these, meaning there's a long list of these truths that are self-evident. Now, among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, I didn't always say happiness, but it was changed, and happiness was put in its place. If you want to end somebody, if you want to end the discussion of pro-life or pro-choice, right there, you have a right to life. You don't have a right to take life. You're infringing on someone else's rights that are freely given to them. You can't take their liberty away. And the original line was pursuit of property, and there was some discussion at the time that if they left it as property, they knew that it would give those who were pro-slavery, because, you know, after all, they quote-unquote owned their slaves. They weren't just employees. They owned them. It was a piece of property that you couldn't take them away. So they changed the word property to happiness. And rightfully so. So when you start looking at the Bill of Rights, you look at the Bill of Rights, and those are an appendage to these truths. And that among these, it's rather interesting when you start breaking this stuff apart and really digging deep into it. Okay, what else do we got? I really hope this works. I really hope it works.
Cross our fingers.
We're crossing our fingers.
Cross
because...
Yay!
I hope it works. Come on, please play. Oh, it's not going to play. Dang it. Let's see if it... Okay, so you guys have seen... Okay, I got it to play. You guys have seen this. This little video was captured over on the Twitters. It was put out by USA Today. This is what... Oh, God. Here it comes. Look. You guys are going to watch. Look, watch. There it is.
It's a WTF moment.
It is. It is one of those things like, seriously, somebody actually had to build this damn graphic? Oh, God. I'm starting to yell into the microphone. Some nitwit came up with the idea of putting in a chainsaw bayonet.
I have never heard of a chainsaw bayonet.
Nobody has ever heard of a flippin' chainsaw bayonet. Unless, I'm sorry.
Life.
Wait. I can't say that. We actually have people that watch the show.
They probably have, but I know
they
I
have.
haven't.
They have. But do you know where they saw it?
No.
Gears of War. It's a flippin' video game.
Oh, I don't play video games.
It's a gun from a video game where it's got these saw teeth on it on the front edge. Okay? So, oh God. Okay, so you guys got to see that. I showed you the video. Here's the oh my word. Somebody at USA Today, seriously, you are why nobody trusts the media. You have removed all doubt. Seriously, if I was still in the Army, I would really want a chainsaw bayonet attachment. Now, wait.
Are you being sarcastic?
I'm not being sarcastic.
Okay, I didn't know if I was still Sheldon Cooper today.
No, bazinga. Here's the thing. Somebody actually made an attachment that you could mount onto the chassis of an AR-style weapon that looks exactly like a chainsaw bayonet. As a matter of fact, it's a little tiny battery-powered chainsaw.
Why?
The blade is maybe 12 inches long. Why? Because you can. Why not?
It's America.
America! You're goddamn right. I'll say it to your face.
America.
Oh, God. Now you're starting to do impersonations. That's
Not
great,
as
by
good
the way.
as you
It's
are.
great, by the way. So, oh my word. Seriously. And then USA Today had the gall to stay out on Twitter and try and redeem themselves. They tried to redeem themselves by saying, oh, well, it's just, these are some of the modifications you could make. Okay, seriously, I've never seen an attachment that you could put inside the trigger where you could turn a little crank.
Oh, I made me think of like the old time mob and their little Tommy guns. Is
Yeah,
what
like that's exactly what that stupid little trigger thing is that I showed in the thing, where you could crank this tiny little handle, and you can pew pew at people.
I
No!
immediately thought of like the old time mob and all dressed in their pinstripes, suspended suits.
I'm gonna
with
be
their
honest.
Tommy guns.
When I saw chainsaw bayonet trending on Twitter, I immediately thought to myself, "Oh my God, what did Sam do now?" I honestly thought
she'd come up with her.
Politibunny. That I honestly thought Sam, aka Politibunny.
I wouldn't have thought that, even though I know her. I wouldn't have thought that. I would have been like, "What the?"
I seriously thought that she was trending on Twitter. And then I noticed that it's the media that's trending. It's USA Today. What the fudge?
I wonder if Sam wants one now.
Probably. Why not? You never know if you've got to cut through something with a battery-powered chainsaw.
Do I need
Looks
one?
like it was big enough that it could probably knock down a couple blades of grass.
Do I need one for working in retail?
No. Here's the thing. The on the chainsaw, you know what the bar for the blade says?
What?
Zombie.
Oh.
I really don't think there's a huge market for chainsaw bayonets where people are going to try and affix some stupid, ridiculous thing on the end of their weapon. Look.
Well, there's some crazy people out there, but...
Listen, hang on just a second. I realize what time it is, and we've got to make sure that Rowdy Rick Robinson for America Off the Rails can hit the airwaves here in just a second.
All right.
So, here's what we got to do. We're going to wrap this part of the show up. Stay tuned for a little bit of the after the show, and we'll continue talking about some of this stuff. How about that, shall we?
Okay.
Because, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this week for the podcast. God willing, the Stafford Voice will be back next week. I, your humble host, Daniel, and...
Roxanne.
Jesus.
I was trying to write something.
Follow us on Twitter at Stafford Voice. Look us up on Facebook by searching for the Stafford Voice. Email your questions, comments, or concerns to thestaffordvoice@gmail.com. Thank you so much for your time, and until next week, thanks and God bless. Okay, boy, Rick, if you're listening, I'm terribly, terribly sorry. But, okay, seriously. Look, I'm not even, I don't, it's too late to keep talking about that. Seriously, the whole idea that somebody at USA Today thought it was a good idea to put together that graphic is beyond me. It's so stupid. So flipping stupid. So, kudos to you, USA Today. You're our ignoramus of the week. Seriously. Some people remove all doubt. What are your thoughts?
I think it's stupid.
You don't want a chainsaw bayonet? Maybe we could get one you could mount on your purse. You could mount it on the bottom of your purse, and you could have a chainsaw. And you could. No?
Our son Daniel wants one, though.
I know.
I'm not buying him one. Jessica said she wasn't going to buy him one either.
Refill wants to ask a question. Refill, put your question in the chat. It's about big news coming out this weekend. If it has anything to do with the Spice Girls or whatever the hell, who in the hell is he talking about? The Spice Girls? Not the Spice Girls.
The Golden Girls.
The Golden Girls. The Golden Spice Girls.
The Golden Spice Girls.
If it has anything to do with the Golden Spice Girls, I'm not answering it. You will just have to stay tuned. Some of you in the chat already know what I'm talking about. Keep it a secret.
Refill.
Work. Total, I got him. Got him. Okay.
He says no, it's not about them.
Okay, put your question out. Let's see what your question is. Jessica, it's okay. Jesse, we're all a little lost when Refill starts. When is my due date? What the hell are you talking about? We're not pregnant.
I knew that was going to happen when you said you had an announcement to make this
Okay,
weekend.
nobody's pregnant.
I was going to say no one's having a baby.
Nobody's having a baby. You have no idea what the big news is. Very, very few people know what it is. So if you think you know what it is, by all means, drop it in the chat, and I will say yes or no. There is a bit of a due date.
Okay, well now you're going to really confuse people, but we are not pregnant.
We are not pregnant, okay? We're flipping grandparents, for crying out loud.
Well, look at the Duggars.
Oh, what?
The Duggars keep having kids. And
yeah,
have
well,
kids
that's the
kids.
Duggars. We're not the Duggars. This is the Stafford Voice. No, I wish. He's only like 3 months old. That's way too young to start.
Well, at the rate he's going, he might.
It's true. He's almost the size of a 2-year-old by now.
Well, I don't know if he's that big.
He's not that big. I know.
No, we're not moving to New Hampshire.
Ron, where the hell did you come up with that? New Hampshire.
I would like to visit there.
Yeah, we've not been there.
No.
So, yeah. So we're working on a project. We've still got a long way to go. But if you are, let me just say this. God, I wish I was going to CPAC. If you are pro-America, you love the idea of made in the USA, you love the idea of handmade, come January 1, you'll be a little more excited. Not yet. We're not running for political office. I don't know when or if that would ever happen. Oh gosh, I'd have to retire. I'll probably have to wait until I'm retired for that. So
I don't know if I want to be the wife, because I don't want to be public speaking and saying silly things that aren't
Congressman
true.
in District 69 for Kansas. Whatever. So yeah, this weekend we'll talk a little bit more about it, and I will spill the beans on the whole thing.
But nobody is pregnant.
Nobody is pregnant. I can 100% promise that. I'm not running for political office. Nobody's pregnant.
Nobody's moving.
Don't have the money to move or go to CPAC. But I'm very, very excited to share with you guys. So you'll have to stay tuned for that.
Slick. I just imagine him as a little child. I know what it is. Boo-boo.
He probably is sitting there laughing about it the whole time.
Well, he has to. Did you not see his exclamation marks?
I know. An ant farm. God, if I was getting an enlargement procedure, I could probably actually have a handful.
Jessica's emojis.
What's the poop emojis have to do with it? Oh, we went back to Slick having hemorrhoids. Is that it?
Yes, I don't know.
Oh, anyway. Oh. We're having way too much fun. As a matter of fact, we probably should wrap this up. So, yes, I am going to do everything I can to try and put together a short show on Friday, late afternoon, early evening, because we actually do have, I did forget that, we do have something going on.
I didn't forget about it, because I told people at work that I'm leaving when I'm scheduled to leave, because we have plans for that evening.
But we do, actually, it's been planned for quite a while, and, you know, maybe we can, like, take some notes and share with them some things that stand out.
I just hope I don't fall asleep.
I hope not either.
Because it's what, like 2.5, almost 3 hours?
Well, I think that's how long the whole thing is, but
I know, but
the screening thing isn't that long.
I know, but that's a long time to be sitting there.
It is. Hopefully we get to, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it's not that packed. I doubt that it will be. So, anyway, Slick, we'll figure out something. I will hit you up tomorrow, and we'll figure out all the deets. That's code word for details. Did you pick up on that, or are you totally ignoring me?
Code word? Well, no, yeah, I didn't hear.
Deets.
Deets?
Deets is code word for details.
Oh, see, I've been Sheldon Cooper today.
I know, you're totally out of it.
I am. I said I left work, and my mood just kind of went downhill, and it hasn't really, well, it's picked up a little bit here, but
they're still trying to figure out this whole thing that we're talking about. It is a church event, actually. It's called, we're going to a screening of a thing. It's like it's not really a talk. It's more of an indie film, where the indie film is called Screenagers. Basically, it's talking about the
new generation, pretty much, of how they're all technical. I mean, it's phones and tablets and
right. I mean, the whole gist of it that I've picked up on it is talking about where we live in the age of having our noses stuck in a screen, aka a tablet or a cell phone or even our TVs and our computers.
Refill?
Yes. I have no words for him.
He's like that child that you just don't know what to say, and you're just...
We're not old enough to play bingo, Ron. What the hell?
What's wrong with bingo?
We're not old enough to play bingo.
I'm older than you.
A year.
It's not 300 and some days.
362 days. You are 362 days older than me. That doesn't make you old enough to play bingo.
Okay. I just want to yell out bingo.
Then yell out bingo.
And then maybe sing the song Bingo. B-I-N-G-O. B-I-N-G-O. And bingo was his
Where
name.
was all this enthusiasm an hour ago?
I told you. It's picked up a little bit.
Okay. We gotta call it quits.
Okay.
We gotta end the show. How do you have creepy classical music? Explain to me what creepy classical music is. I'm actually interested. Because I enjoy classical music.
I do too, but I didn't know there was anything creepy unless it's just ones who don't like classical music.
I don't know. I'm not a big U2 fan. I am definitely not a fan of AC/DC. I know that some will say that makes me un-American, but you can challenge my my amount of America any day. You cut me open, I bleed red, white, and blue. Beaches. Okay. You have any parting words?
I don't. Thanks for tuning in to the Stafford Voice.
That's right. Hit that like button. Share it with your friends. Uh-oh. We had somebody actually listening that we didn't know was here. Anne says, watch the age comments. Snap Pop Fizz. Uh-oh. Snap Pop Fizz. That means that Ron has popped the top on his Alka-Seltzer.
Alka-Seltzer. I thought you were going to say something really cool.
Okay, Slick's going to make me do it. Slick's going to make me do my Gene Simmons.
You have a Gene Simmons impersonation.
It's more of a caricature of Gene Simmons.
Oh. I don't know if I've known this one.
That's what Gene would do. Anyway, I don't have the, 900... I don't have big tongue. Anyway. Okay. I don't know what Slick's saying yes to. I'm having a hard time keeping up with the chat at the moment. Okay, anyway. We gotta call it quits. We've had way too much fun. We have learned a bit of stuff. I hope. Hopefully you guys were entertained and educated all at the same time. Hopefully nobody lost their cool and shed some tears. Oh, Slick says, yeah, that was bad. Don't do that. Okay. Write that down.
I don't have anything to write it down with.
Anyway. Okay, look. Somebody out there is listening and they can attest to you. When I say this, I mean it. You guys are more than friends. You guys really are family. We pray about each one of you guys all the time by name. We actually love spending time with you guys. It is one of the things that we most look forward to throughout the week. It is right behind date night. It ranks that high. We enjoy sitting here and chatting with you guys. And look, we do honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, mean it when we say thank you so much for sharing this time with us. I know that there's probably a lot of other things you guys could have been doing, but the fact that you sat here and listened to us for, a little over an hour really does mean a lot to us. Really, really a lot of fun lately. And, yeah, just want to say thanks. You guys are awesome. You guys keep us going. We really do appreciate that. And with that, we are out. We will see you next time. So stay tuned on Facebook and Twitter, and we will let you know what happens with trying to set something up with Slick, so we can talk about Antifa. And also stay tuned so we can share some more information about our upcoming project. We want to keep you guys informed so you guys know. Because, hey, we love you and we got you. Okay. Ron says stop it. Okay, so we will. Out.